Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, another guitar. You can probably read the box already. I finally gave in and bought a Jet guitar. This is my first Jet guitar. And I have the boxes in the back just so you can see. And I apologize for the screenshot here, the view with my head cut off. But I want to try to get everything in the frame. It came with an outside box and a Jet box inside the outer box, packaged very nicely. A whole bunch, as you can probably see there, right? A whole bunch of whatever this stuff is called, right? This protective wrap, bubble wrap, or whatever, Air Plus Storo pack inside the box to keep it from shifting. So it was packaged very well by Jet. And I've been reading, let me get this up a little bit. I've been reading a ton of stuff on forums as well as videos on YouTube about these guitars being, like the best budget guitar value out there. And I got to the point where I just said, let me just try one of these things and see if it lives up to the hype. So let me tell you about what I like, what I don't like, the whole bit, a little bit about the guitar, and we'll take it from there. So, first off, these guitars vary in price, number one. You see them anywhere from $229, $249 to $199, which is what I paid for this on Sam Ash's website. It was the lowest price new I've seen. And that's for the humbucker version. This comes in also a single, three single, traditional Strat configuration. And that is the JS-300. This is the JS-400. And we'll get into a little bit of the differences, but let's talk about this guitar first. So, street price, anywhere from $199 to $250, let's say. And in some cases, they even charge more. It's crazy. There's no consistency, it seems, with the prices of these guitars in the U.S. The company itself is Slovenia. That's where the company is, and they design these guitars in Slovenia, Europe, and then they're obviously distributed by Chinese companies where they're manufactured. So this is a China-made instrument that is designed in Slovenia, and this model is the JS-400, and this is in vintage yellow, and it's more, I guess, of a banana color is the best way to describe it. Custard, banana. I like it. I don't have any guitars this color, so I kind of like this shade of yellow. Normally, I wouldn't be attracted to a yellow guitar, but this is a decent color in my opinion. The weight of this guitar is 7.4 pounds. For those of you that are interested in weight, it is a basswood body or basswood, depending upon how you want to pronounce it. A roasted maple neck, which is really nice on this guitar in terms of having the roasted maple. I love the way it looks. It's a matte satin finish, and the fretboard is nice and smooth. This is also roasted maple. Now, it claims to have rounded fret ends, is what I've read on these or heard on these reviews. This does not appear to have any rounded fret ends. These are normal frets on the guitar. Now, a couple of them, especially when you get around the 12th fret and higher on the neck, are sharp. So I've had better fret jobs on the guitar than on this particular one. Maybe it's the fact that it's very cold here where I am, and I let this guitar acclimate overnight. So I didn't touch this thing for an entire probably 15 hours before I took it out of the box. But the frets are sharp, up here, which is not a deal breaker. The neck joint on this guitar appears to be fine, but it does have, and you're not going to see it on this camera, but it does have a finish crack on this neck here where the upper bout is, and I've seen a couple of other reviews on YouTube that have had similar problems. I don't know if that's just something that is known with Jet. I know Fender has them a lot. Strat style guitars have them, but yeah, so this guy had a little bit of a finish crack up here. That's okay, we'll talk about that later. Bone nut on the guitar, it's cut very well. Two-way truss rod, dual action truss rod, 25.5-inch fender scale, HSS configuration, humbucker here, 2 singles. This is a ceramic humbucker, as these singles are ceramic, and I believe they're proprietary pickups to Jet, or they're some, import pickups, but they're ceramic. They're not Alnico. 2-point trim on this guitar, and it is set up slightly floating for those of you that are trem users. 22 medium jumbo frets. These don't have stainless steel frets. These are nickel alloy frets of some type. 5-way switch. Switch feels fine. Very, very nice and solid. These knobs are a little bit chintzy feeling to me. They feel a little on the cheap side. Again, it might just be myself. No push-pull. It's got a three-layer pick guard on this guitar. White, black, white. 4-screw sculpted neck joint on this guitar. Nice Strat cutaway, everything else. It has what appears to be a larger than average block on the guitar. It's not the super thin blocks that these guitars come with. I think I mentioned 22 medium jumbo frets. Yeah, so that's pretty much the specs on the guitar, guys. Now, what I like and what I'm not so crazy about on this guitar, okay? Let's talk about what I like first. I like the roasted maple neck. Some people have said it's the best feeling neck on any guitar that they've ever played. To me, it's not. I mean, it's a nice neck. It's a shallow C. Comfortable feeling neck. No issues at all with the feel of the neck. It's a nice feeling, solid neck. The roasted maple I like. It's a nice look. What else do I like? I like the headstock. That's not an offensive headstock to me. It's pretty close to the F word without, getting hurt by it. So the headstock is fine. The logo, that Jet logo is fine. The decal that they put over it. It's got a single string tree, as you can see. The tuners on here I didn't mention. They are Jet branded tuners. Now, we'll talk about that as part of the dislikes. So, what I like, roasted maple neck, bone nut. It's cut well. Pickups. These are ceramic pickups, but they are decent sounding pickups. They have nice clarity. They're not, shrieky like some ceramics are. Nice tone. Good variance on the tone. Pickups are fine as far as I'm concerned. Being what I am, not an outside player, not a professional, an amateur, hobbyist, whatever you want to call me, knucklehead. But the pickups sound fine. The neck heel. I like that sculpted neck joint. You don't see that too much on lower end budget guitars. And it is, very nice. It also has an additional cut right here on the back. So I like the design of this Strat. The tremolo arm. So it comes just with this bag. This is it. You get a really chintzy, cheapo guitar cord, right? It's probably disposable, quite frankly. You get the tools that you need, right? 3 of them. Allen wrenches for intonation and adjusting the neck. And then you get this tremolo arm. Now, I'm not a tremolo user, but it's one of these that not the screw-in type that you usually see on budget guitars of this price point. It is a pop-in tremolo arm, and you just pop it in here, and that's it. And it stays pretty secure, pretty tight. Let me pull her out. So that's a nice feature if you're a tremolo user, and it is already set up to some extent. It's not locked down. It's floating to some extent. What else? The block I went over. It's a not a super thin, ultra thin, chintzy block. It looks like it's got a decent sized block on the guitar. Now, what I don't like, or what I'm not crazy about on the guitar, the tuners. These tuners have a lot of slippage in them. They don't feel like a good solid tuner. So if you are a performer playing out in a band or a church or whatever the case is, right, recording, you're probably going to want to change these tuners. They're not the best, in my opinion. The frets are a little sharp. So these are not stainless steel frets. These are nickel frets, and they're could be attended to. They could be a little bit better out of the box. They're not going to shred your finger or cut you. At least they haven't to me on this model, this guitar. But the frets are not great. The finish. This came with a crack. You're not going to see it on this camera, but it came with a crack at the neck joint on this higher bass side, the high bass E side, or the bass E side. Right at the V, where the neck joint hits, the guitar body hits the neck, there is a crack in the finish. It's a finish crack, I believe. I don't think it's going down into the wood, but again, I don't know. I haven't analyzed it enough to know that. It might be a nit, but again, I've seen other reviews on YouTube that complain about cracks in the lacquer, in the finish on these Jet guitars. It's a known problem with Strats, for Fender at least, so it might very well be another issue with these, especially if they're shipping overseas. There's humidity changes and temperature changes, climate changes, etc. So that exists. I mentioned before these tone knobs and volume knobs. The knobs themselves just feel a little cheap. They may be fine, but they just don't feel like they have that good solid feel to them. Although from a tonal standpoint, there is a good degree of change and variance in the pickup settings. This is a nit, and it's a personal thing, right? But this pick guard is white, right? It's snow white. These pickups are vintage off-white, right? The guitar is yellow, and it's an off-white yellow color, right? It's more of a banana yellow, I should say, or a cream color. They call it vintage yellow. I don't like the fact that it's contrasting with this bright white, snow white pickguard. I think they could have done a better job if they put an parchment, off-white, some toned down color pickguard on here, as opposed to this pure white. Because you have three different shifts in color, right? In color patterns. You're going from this yellowish white, right, to this off-white on the pickups, to a pure white on the pickguard, and the knobs match the pickups, right? So that's fine. I think if the pickguard was a little more off-white, beige, anything, it would have looked better than this bright white. But again, it's a personal thing with me. And that's really it in terms of dislikes. There's not a lot to dislike about this guitar, at least on the surface from what I've seen so far, first impressions. It's a solid feeling guitar. The neck is comfortable. The pickups, the stock pickups sound great to my ears. The tremolo is nice. I think if you're a tremolo user, I think it'll probably pass the test initially. Yeah, I mean, it's not, super expensive, right? A $1.99, which is what they're selling for now at Sam Ash at least, is a reasonable price for this guitar. Now, again, the main difference for those of you that might want to know between the HSS configuration of the Jet, the JS-400, and then the JS-300, it's a little lower priced than the 400. It comes with 3 single ceramic pickups. Is that obviously you're getting a humbucker with this guitar, right? You're getting a 2-point trem with the 400 as opposed to the 6-point on the 300. And you're getting this heel joint. This sculpted heel joint where you're just getting the square 4-screw plate neck that you get on Strats on the 300. Those are the main differences that I can see. Other than that, they're pretty similar guitars. So what I'm going to do now is I will let you hear what the pickups sound like clean with distortion, and then we'll end with just the play out, a little play out of the guitar, so you can hear what the guitar sounds like being played and butchered by me. So let's see. We'll plug it in. These pickups, again, that's the other thing I did on the dislikes I forgot to mention to you. They are noisy, and I think it's been mentioned before in other reviews. These ceramic pickups are on the noisy side. But again, most singles are, but even the humbucker seems to be, but whatever. Let me turn her on. Now, I'll just do basic strumming through in all the different positions with the clean setting. I'm playing through a Black Star 20 watt amp, stereo 20. Okay, this is the neck pickup, clean. Give it a little volume. Neck in the middle. Middle pickup. Middle and bridge. And just the humbucker, just the bridge. Now, the other thing that's nice about this guitar that I didn't mention before, in case you haven't figured it out or heard it, is the pickups are nicely balanced. Sometimes with these lower-end budget guitars, the humbucker is extremely loud compared to the singles. That's not the case with this. This pickup is fairly well balanced to the singles. You're not getting that huge jump in power, which is nice, right? Okay, so now, little single notes playing through. And now I'll put on some distortion for you. Enough abuse for today. So that is the Jet JS-400 in vintage yellow. If you like these reviews, guys, please support the channel by subscribing. If you have any questions on this guitar, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them, as I always do. And until the next one... Oh, and the other thing is, here's another one. One final dislike. Throw in a gig bag, man. At this price, at $200, you can afford to throw in a dust cover, right, or something. This comes with nothing other than the truss rod, adjustment, and the tremolo arm, basically, and that cheap cable. Get rid of the cheap cable. Throw in a dust cover. Should come with a gig bag. Other than that, guys, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Until the next one, be well. See you soon. Take care.